ordinary guys doing extraordinary things. The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with William Hunt, Savile Row, and Callaway.
Hello, and welcome once again to the Trilby Tour. This week, another field of Trilby Tourians will be trying their very best to reach a kind of golfing nirvana here in the tranquil and harmonious bosom of the Yorkshire Wolds. I'm sure we're all going to have a simply lovely time.
Someone asked me the other day, what phrase best describes the Trilby Tour? I said, how many do you want? There's loads. Brutal. No second chance, no second place, no second best. Iconic. A chance to leave the rat race and get into the rat pack. Historically factual. Uniting the nation through millinery and golf. Ostentatious. Satisfying the nation's golfing bloodlust in this peacetime. Surreal. Discover who you are and then do it on purpose. Mean and nasty. 120 players, 119 losers. Describe it how you like, but it's here to stay. Welcome to event number 4 at the fantastic KP Club.
Be on your game today, gentlemen.
Last week, the Trilby Tour was down in the far southwest of England at Trevose Golf and Country Club for the first ever Trilby event to be staged on a links course. Teenager Mark Keevil took the Cornish title after a cracking playoff. This week we head 370 miles north and east to the KP Club near York as another 120 golfers play for this week's regional title, and the 10 places up for grabs at the International Amateur Final at the Buckinghamshire Golf Club later in the season. It's year 2 for the Trilby Tour here at the KP Club, and coming up on this week's show, we talk to Rhys Hatton back to defend the Yorkshire title he won so brilliantly here last year. As always, our regular features will be along. Shot of the Day is up for grabs. And for those of you who like to see grown men cry, stay tuned for Rogues Gallery. It's another belter this week. There's a 7-way tie for third place at the end of regulation, and that can only mean one thing: a massive shootout for the last 2 playoff places. And we'll have all the highlights action from that playoff. 4 men, 3 holes, winner takes all. Absolutely perfect weather conditions greeted the players at the KP Club, and the golf was pretty good as well. Following 2 days of pre-Trilby corporate events, spirits and nerves were high on the first tee.
I've obviously watched it on the television on Sky Sports and was aware of the cameras and what goes on, but never the actual crowds and the amount of people that was actually here watching. The nerves are setting again, without a doubt. Yeah, the biggest problem is going to be hitting the ball off the tee, but once it goes and away from you guys, then we should be in for hopefully a good round of golf. Yeah.
In the end, John got it round just fine. Part of this year's field once again were the players that managed to win their place via the previous day's qualifying events.
My name's Scott Gibson. I won the Goschalk Solicitors Corporate Day, and I won a place in the Trilby Tour.
And I believe you won it under some pressure.
Yeah, it was quite nerve-wracking. Yeah, we had to go to a playoff, and the winning team played off. It was the nearest to pin in the first round, and then it was the longest drive off this tee in the second round. So there was a lot of people there, so it was a bit like today.
Jonathan Rose, the 6 handicapper from Rye Hill Golf Club, had a good day. He shot 35 points for a place at the finals, keeping clear of the shootout mayhem for those on 36 points just above him. Jonathan stayed cool, but for many on the first tee, the nerves were still jangling.
First time I've played in it this year. We're associated with the club and the director of the club through a lot of design work that we've done here on the clubhouse and the lodges, and it's just a fantastic setting, and the staff here have just done an amazing job. I was alright until I got across to the tee, but yeah, it's certainly that's what the day's about. It's pressure, and William Hunt's turned it on again as usual.
Well, representing the insurance partnership as supposedly one of their golfers. But we'll have to wait and see. It's a magnificent setting.
And today this is something a bit different, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, television cameras, lots of people possibly viewing. I usually play 6 o'clock in the morning on my own, nobody watching. So it's having a caddy and having everything surrounding. It's just, I just hope I can do it justice.
We have a sponsorship deal with the KP Club, and they've kindly invited one member of our staff team to come and play today, which is a bit of an honour and a privilege, to be fair, especially for a high handicapper like myself, and also a bit nerve-wracking. Gives golfers of all kind of ability a chance to play on beautiful, well-organised days out, which normally you wouldn't have the chance to play in. So yeah, it's an absolute honour.
Now you say it's an honour, but how's it making you feel right now?
I might need another pair of underpants, but apart from that, I'm alright.
Too much information there from Mick, but for those of you that want to see Mick's tee shot, don't miss Rogues Gallery at the end of the show. Now, here's a proud dad.
My name's Jimmy Pheasant. The reason I'm here today, both my sons are the director of golf and the assistant golfer here, so it's a proud moment for myself. I came and watched last year and wish I'd have participated and got the opportunity this year to do so.
It's something that, never experienced before. Absolutely unbelievable. 37 years I've been playing this game, and I thought I'd done it all, but what a great experience. It brought memories back because 2000, you won Junior Fishermania, featured on Sky.
Good to be back on telly then.
Yeah, start making it a regular occurrence. No, it's been brilliant, good experience, I've enjoyed it.
I was carrying his fishing tackle, and he says, look, I'll do it for you, Dad. Brilliant.
Well done, boys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I actually played in the corporate day yesterday. It's the first time I've actually played the course. I thought the course was in fantastic condition.
Are you starting to feel the pressure a bit on the first tee?
No, not at all.
Really?
Nerves of ice.
Well, what do you think?
It's just a great event. I mean, we had the customers out yesterday in the team event, and everybody loves it. It's a bit unique, isn't it, with the cameras around, and everybody plays to them a bit. And the team did really well yesterday, so customers loved it.
And now it's your turn to actually experience a Trilby Tour first tee. How do you feel?
I'm quite cool at the moment. I think the drives are okay. Smashing it off the tee will be fine. It's that little short game that I don't want the cameras around, really.
Your wish is our command, Bill. And true to his word, he did smash it off the first tee. And playing alongside Bill Acton was a Trilby Tour Hall of Famer. Rhys Hatton was back to defend the Yorkshire title that he won here at the KP Club last year. We caught up with Rhys ahead of his round.
To be honest, it's all one big trance on the day when I won. I went out, I think it was in about the first 5 or 6 groups. It was a very early start. It was chucking it down with rain. It wasn't too pretty. Luckily I had a good caddy on my bag who kept my clubs nice and dry for me. All I had to concentrate on was just keeping myself dry, which was fairly easy. all I was ever trying to do was finish in the top 12. That's all I was playing for, and ended up winning. It was fantastic. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting everyone to be standing there in red blazers, taking your name like a proper professional event. It was unbelievable. It was quite daunting at first, but then it made you feel quite special as well. It was good. I remember about 100 people following us around watching us, which was a little bit daunting, but after the first all, I seemed fine. I don't know, it was just, I seemed quite, not quietly confident, but I wasn't too nervous, believe it or not, and birdied the second and parred the last, which was enough to do it. And when the putt dropped, it was a lot of disbelief, and then I just thought, oh my God, yeah, I won it. I just looked at my caddy and turned around, and he had a big smile on his face and just disbelief. Nice. It was nice to hold like a 15-foot on the last to win it, rather than just, you know, putting up and two-putting for the win. It was nice to hold it in style. I've been recognised at a couple of different golf clubs, yeah, and probably had a few funny looks off people. Don't know whether it's because of the way you look or whether it's because they recognise you off the TV. I'm not sure, but yeah, people recognise you. I don't recognise them because it was just one big trance last time I was here. But yeah, a lot of people still recognise you. My experience of it has been one that I remember forever. Playing in the county match play, stroke play, playing for the county, far better than that. Far better. Been absolutely unbelievable.
Nobody has ever defended a Trilby Tour title, regional or otherwise, and I'm afraid Rees wasn't about to break that record. A great effort, 31 points on the day, but 4 short of the required amount at the KP Club in 2011. It was goodbye to the soon-to-be former champion, Rees Hatton. Out on the course and clear of the 36-point carnage was Domenico Iannone of the Western Turville Golf Club. The 5-handicapper displaying some exquisite touches in his round for 37 points and a place in the playoff. New owners took over the KP Club in 2005 and the venue has gone from strength to strength. The Trilby Tour is its showcase event. Here's Director of Golf Aaron Pheasant to tell us more.
Having the event a second year, it's been a lot easier. You know, my team here know what to expect. We're very confident in what we're offering as a product here. I sat here last year telling you I had sleepless nights. No sleepless nights. I've just really looked forward to hosting the event. When it went last year, it was like a large part of my life had been taken away, and it's been great to have it back again. What we're trying to do is take little bits from all over the world and all over Europe. We're quite a cosmopolitan club. Very much a new wave club where we try and expand on what we offer here at the club, not just golf, but also a clubhouse, lodges and social functions. All the directors here play golf, all love golf. We're very fortunate to have some guys that really can see what the Trilby Tour brings to the golfing world. We've got companies who sponsor the event, but also building corporate membership and golf days around that, and it's been very successful. The guys that do join us, you know, are very happy with what we're doing and very proud to be part of the event. Yeah, the course itself, you know, new tees, 2 new holes, new bunkering, and just the overall playability of the course has improved immensely. It was very good last year, and it's got even better this year. So, you know, the guys are really happy. To get into the top 4, I think anything 36 points or over will get into the top 4. 37, 38 points, I think you're sitting pretty. We don't try and trick the course up at all, but 36 points will be a good score.
I reckon that's the first time this man Andy McLaughlin has been called pretty for a while, sitting or otherwise. But Mystic Aaron had his crystal ball out and he got it right. 38 points put Andy at the top of the leaderboard and into the 4-man playoff. Now then, talking of leaderboards, let's get back to that 36-point bun fight. Confirmation that McLaughlin and Iannone are through to the playoff and that Rose is off to the final. But Messrs Barlow, Gray, Burke, Pepper, Edwards, Thorne and Beebe all scored 36 points to tie for 3rd. Count them, 7 players for the 2 remaining playoff places. They're going to shoot it out right after the break.
The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with Callaway. The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with William Hunt, Savile Row.
Welcome back to the KP Club for the Trilby Tour Championship of Yorkshire. Normally we'd be heading to the first playoff tee now with our 4 finalists, but the players had other ideas. 7 players tied for third, and so a shootout ensued for the 2 remaining playoff places. And the drama didn't stop there. In round 1, only KP Club member James Gray understood Williams' instruction that it was a nearest the pin and not nearest the green shootout. He was into the playoff, which left 6 who had to shoot again. Well done to James Gray. Into round 2, and it was Carden Park's Tony Edwards who threw down the gauntlet. First shot. It was beatable, but at least it was on the dance floor. Stephen Beebe stepped up again, and you can see his first round shot in Rogue's Gallery later in the show. Then you'll understand why Stephen gave this one a bit more in round 2. Too much though. A familiar face up next. Carl Thorne, commonly known on the Trilby Tour as the Governor, was looking to make his second playoff in 2 years after losing out to James Vose at Sprouston Manor in 2010. He was on the green, and it was going to be a measure between he and Edwards. Bredsall Priory's Richard Burke was next up on the glory hunt. 1 place left in the playoff and 2 on the green. But a puff of sand, a stark indication that Richard's day was over. Gary Pepper from Forest Pines Golf Club overcooked his first round effort and needed half a club less this time around. Close, but in the context of this shootout, no cigar. So just 1 man was left that could take it away from either Carl Thorne or Tony Edwards. Swinton Park Golf Club's James Barlow stepped up to the plate and hit what looked like a cracker from the tee. But it was just too strong come the green. For Barlow, Beebe, Burke and Pepper, so close, well, close-ish, but yet so far. For Thorne and Edwards, the agony of a measure by tournament director Mark O'Leary, who eventually confirmed that Tony Edwards got it to join James Gray, Domenico Iannone and Andy McLaughlin in the playoff. 4 men, 3 holes, 1 winner. Here's KP Club Director of Golf Aaron Pheasant to tell us about playoff hole 1.
The first hole is a very demanding par 4, one that plays downhill with a downhill approach. You've got to land the ball 20 yards short of a green. There's 2 great big oak trees either side of a fairway about 200 yards, and fairway bunkers down there as well. So you need a very straight drive and a very accurate, very cleverly played second shot to a green which slopes wickedly from left to right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the playoff. Andy McLaughlin will receive no shots on the first hole. Domenico Iannone will receive no shots at the first playoff hole. James Gray will receive 1 shot at the first playoff hole. Tony Edwards will receive 1 shot at the first playoff hole.
Gentlemen, could we please have Andy McLaughlin to the tee?
So that's the shot situation on hole 1, and first up to the tee, it's the top scorer on the day, Andy McLaughlin.
My name's Andy McLaughlin. I'm 35 years old from Woodham Hall Golf Club in Huddersfield. Tournament, well, I think it's second to none, isn't it? I don't know. I've never played in anything like it. The first tee, it's just pressure that you've never seen before, and obviously the cameras here. On the first tee, it was the most nervous I've ever been in my life. I can honestly say that. You know, I've been in some big matches, things like that, but you know, I was stood there and I can honestly say I didn't really know what I was doing. So it was good to see it just go forward, if you know what I mean, and then calm down a bit after that, and made a couple of pars, and then we were away, if you know what I mean. So my aim was to try and get qualified for the Buckinghamshire playoffs. It's a new thing to everybody. Everybody's nerves will be up. I'll just see how we go, to be quite honest. Everybody's in the same boat. Crack on and see, let's go, bring it on.
Not a great post-shot reaction from Andy, and here's why.
Second to tee off, Domenico
Next up, a man that has travelled all the way from the outskirts of London, not far from the Buckinghamshire Golf Club in fact, to compete here at the KP Club, and what a great day he's had so far.
My name is Domenico Iannoni, I'm 29 years old and I play at Western Silver Golf Club in Aylesbury, Buckinghamshire. From seeing it on TV and standing here is, well, I'm dreaming, I must be dreaming, but it's a brilliant feeling. Loved it, loved every minute of it. I feel pumped, I feel, yeah, I'm up for it, definitely up for it.
Plenty of support for Domenico and a great drive to keep the dream alive.
Kelly Perkins' very own, the KP Club, James Gray.
It's local hero time now, and listen to that cheer for the KP Club's James Gray. Still a relative newcomer to golf, but he's in via the shootout.
My name is James Gray, I'm 34 and I play at the KP Club. I'm a bank manager, which probably doesn't make me too popular. Football, support Liverpool, but Hull Kingston Rovers are my main love on Rugby League. Great fun today, everybody watching, clubhouse full, sunny day, a lot of pressure. Watching the Trilby Tour last year got me interested and that's why I wanted to play. Never actually dreamed I'd get into the playoffs, so really excited, very nervous. Even though it's my home course, it's still a little bit different when you've got the Trilby Tour watching.
Definitely not his Sunday best from the tee, but the KP fans loved it, and it was in play. And last man in from the shootout, will Tony Edwards be this year's Trilby Tour Champion of Yorkshire?
My name is Tony Edwards, I'm 34, play at Carden Park. I'm an IT consultant, IT contractor, support Liverpool Football Club. I do a bit of swimming, running, cycling. I've seen it on the telly, and I'm very, very nervous. I think my chances are as good as anybody else's.
Now, you know when something is so right that it's wrong? Well, unfortunately, Tony knew that feeling off the tee. Matt Woods alongside me in the commentary box as ever. A very interesting mix with these four playoff finalists.
Thanks, Simon. Another exciting playoff ahead of us today, and a real mix of handicaps this afternoon, so that should throw out some interesting scenarios over these next three holes.
Very chatty on the way to their second shots, and it's James Gray that knows this club very well indeed. Middle of the fairway, and will know exactly what to do with this tricky second shot.
With the gallery cheering him on, so under some real pressure.
Well, not got it quite to where he wanted it to be, but he's opened up the green. But for McLaughlin, well, not the tee shot he wanted, and certainly not the second shot he was after.
Some four left off the tee, found the long grass and has really struggled to advance that any more than say 30 yards. Now Edwards, we saw him way right. Got a bit of a linksy feel about it, this second, third or fourth shot, depending on who you are, into this opening hole.
Oh dear, Andy McLaughlin chopped another one. Tough start to this playoff for some of the players at least. Magnificent gallery, easily the biggest crowd we've had this year on the Trilby Tour. Domenico Iannoni with his second shot, going to run this down the hill, and you may think that is way short, but just watch this. Here it comes.
Super second shot there, leaving himself about 20 feet for birdie. Now Andy really needs to make something happen here. I'm going to try using the same route, just landing it about 25 yards short of the front edge, letting it feed down to this front right flag location.
There we go, but McLaughlin in trouble. Gray with his third. Same sort of shot as we've just seen from Domenico and Andy.
And the man with the local knowledge, as we've already mentioned, so we'll expect to see this relatively close, and he's executed that just beautifully. He'll be cheered on all the way today. Now Edwards, slightly different prospect, got to come across that slope, and just a fraction too heavy-handed. And although that's some 35 feet past, that only needed to land it say 6 or 7 feet shorter than that, and that would have been very close.
Oh my goodness me, all hell has broken loose on this first playoff hole at the KP Club, and it's time now just to steady things down, get the nerves under control, see if McLaughlin can knock this one in.
Yeah, big putt here for Andy. Needs to hold this, really.
Unfortunately for Andy, though, he didn't hole it, and I'm afraid he didn't hole the next one either. And Andy McLaughlin will feel like his playoff chances have gone. 3 over at the end of the first hole. Tony Edwards going for a save here.
Yeah, some 35 feet coming off that right side. Expect to see it diving left at the end. And a disappointing start with a double bogey 6. It does receive a shot on this opening hole, so at 1 over, still very much part of this playoff.
So we turn our attentions to the men that are still in contention. Iannone.
Yeah, birdie putt on the first. This really will stamp his authority all over this playoff. And an aggressive attempt.
He's fizzed it past, and the man that had trials for Watford when he was younger shoots wide.
The man carrying all the local support now has a par putt. Just going to come off his right hand side. Yeah, about a 15-footer here. Does get a shot, so as that slides by, and the body language tells a story. It does miss, but it's a 5-net 4.
Yep, tongue out means it didn't drop. Domenico then strolls up to this putt. Different ends of the golfing handicap spectrum between Gray and Iannone, and that's well done. So Domenico Iannone also walks away from the first at level par, and our playoff is well and truly underway here at the KP Club. Gray and Iannone share the lead. More playoff action to come after the break.
The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with Callaway. The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with William Hunt, Savile Row.
Welcome back to the KP Club and the playoff for the Trilby Tour Championship of Yorkshire. The course is still bathed in sunshine as the contenders head for playoff hole 2. Here's Director of Golf Aaron Pheasant to tell us more about the next hole.
Second hole's a great par 4, and one that in the playoff, you know, risk and reward. 200 yards out there's a pond, so we can either hit a rescue club and then play a 7-iron from 150 into a very narrow green, or the bigger guys and the guys who really need to make a score can hit a drive over the pond and are left with a simple wedge into the green and can control the second shot a lot better. Again, very tricky putt from right to left, downhill, very, very fast.
Domenico Iannone on level par after the first, and he's got the iron out.
Yeah, deciding just to lay up. Needs to get it down that left-hand side. Some big trees down there on the right that the players don't really want to be tangling with their second shot. So good decision this. Good looking swing.
He's gone after this. He's looking a bit worried. He's not that far short of the water.
There's a bit of Trilby Tour adrenaline there.
There is James Gray's fiancée, Annabelle, watching on very nervously at this second tee. She bought James an entry into the Trilby Tour for a Valentine's present, and then he proposed marriage to her, so he obviously got the message.
Yeah, but looks to have lost this one down the right hand side, and that could be bringing those trees into play, and that's going to leave him an awkward second shot. Disappointing there.
Yeah, Gray completely blocked off now. Can't see the flag at all for his second. And that kind of opens the door for the likes of Tony Edwards.
Yeah, all 4 players receiving a shot here at the second. Bit of a Philip Archer look about his swing. Confidently smashes that down the middle. But another one, he's got to be careful. Player's been getting quite close to this water hazard. I think that's far enough left just to give him a view to the green.
Now then, Andy McLaughlin. 3 over after the first hole, not the best start.
Yeah, surprised to see him out here with 3 wood. Not really too sure what he's doing, because that's going to bring that hazard into play. This was either driver for him or 3-iron. Driver and take it over, or 3-iron and lay up short. He's got the lean on it, means it's gone right. And this is in serious danger of going into that water.
Oh no, oh my goodness me.
Incredible.
What a bounce from McLaughlin.
Has his Trilby Tour playoff just changed?
Well, those are the sorts of incidents that can just send the playoff in a totally different direction. Gray tucked up behind the trees. He's under pressure here.
Yeah, he's only got about 125 in. Really needs to throw this high up into the sky very early. And there's the noise of the ball landing on the green.
He's done it well.
And that really is a fantastic shot. Once again, throws the pressure back at the other three players. Now Edwards, ideal position. Just a little 9-iron here from him. Great rippy rhythm to his swing, really like that. But just come out of that early. It's missing the green on the right hand side, but no real trouble there.
Now Iannone just stopping short of the water hazard, but got a perfect view of the flag here.
Yeah, about 110 from this close to the hazard left in. I think he's dragged that left though, and there's a bunker down there.
No, oh no.
It just dribbles into the bunker, so work to be done.
So Iannone's luck runs out for McLaughlin in position A after that wonderful bounce. The man who's just become a new father, wife Caroline giving birth to a baby boy, Rory. I wonder if there's a golf connection in that name. Now, can Dad knock this one on the green? He can. Super stuff from McLaughlin. It's not all over.
An outside chance for a 3 there. That'll be a 3-net 2, and that will really seriously throw the cat amongst the pigeons.
Great shot, says one of the gallery. 2 right. There's a few of them in there. Would qualify as that.
Now he only in the bunker, just on the slight upslope. He's got to be careful here. Doesn't want to get too steep on it, take too much sand. That's exactly what he's done. Steep and deep, and only advancing the ball some 3 or 4 paces in front of him.
Yeah, let's take another look at this one.
Yeah, too steep with his angle of descent into the ball, and then way too much sand before the golf ball. And it's only got one result then, I'm afraid.
He's a good golfer though, he knows he's done it. Now, Tony Edwards just got caught up at the top of this bank. It could have come back very nicely for him, so this is a relatively straightforward shot.
Yeah, just be trying to chuck this 2 or 3 paces onto the edge of the green, just let it meander its way down to the flag. And just gone underneath it. I think that was sitting a little too well. Polite applause from the gallery, but he knows that's a disappointing effort.
Yeah, caddy straight in with a consoling shake of the head. Not much you can say to this man though. Iannone still in all sorts of bother.
Yeah, needs some fireworks now. Really needs to chip this one in, or at least stone dead. And an unusual situation for the guys out there with the gallery watching, something they won't have experienced before. Just chucks a different dimension on this playoff.
Yeah, that's a good point actually, Matt. Everybody talks about the cameras and the drama and the situation itself, but you've got a lot of people watching your every move live right next to you.
This is a massive putt. Needs to give it a good run.
Oh dear me.
And he certainly hasn't done that.
A classic D-cell, I'm afraid, from Andy McLaughlin. But he recovered the situation by knocking the next one in, and actually did manage to pick up a shot.
Yeah, 4-net 3 takes him to 2 over. And still very much in this playoff.
But the smile just showing us it could have been better. Oh, steady on.
Now James Gray, after that stunning second shot, putt that's going to move from right to left. Wary of the pace here, doesn't want to knock this some 3 or 4 feet past.
Yeah, no danger of that, I'm afraid, after that swing. And that is so short that the tongue isn't even coming out.
I'll give him chance, he's got to make an appearance, and there it is.
There we go. Oh dear. A little bit embarrassed, I think, Gray, after that putt in front of his peers here at the KP Club.
Yeah, now Edwards will be wary, having seen 2 players leave it way short.
He's battered it. Oh!
A better attempt. He's very kindly made the hole a little bit bigger for everybody else.
Well, this is a struggle for these guys at the moment. Iannone will be wondering how on earth this hole has disintegrated so rapidly.
Yeah, back up the hill, needs to be aggressive. Oh, he's just over borrowed. All of a sudden a simple hole turns into a shocker, and that's a 6. Receives a shot, so that'll make it back down to a 5 and +1 for the playoff.
Gray then suddenly being placed in a very nice position, but by the rest of the field. and doesn't hang about, just rolls that one in. Very familiar with this green. And James Gray moves to one under the card with his shot, and a nod to the gallery confirms he's the boss.
A little bit of tidying up needed from Edwards. This for a 5, also receives a shot.
Oh no, I don't believe it. And I don't think Tony Edwards does either. 2 holes down and 1 to go. The KP Club's James Gray in control of this playoff with the 18th, our third and final playoff hole to come. The conclusion to this week's tournament coming up after the break.
The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with Callaway. The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with William Hunt, Savile Row.
Another regional title up for grabs. Welcome back to the KP Club. James Gray on his home course leads by 2 shots as we head for the last playoff hole. Here's Aaron again to tell us what lies ahead.
The 18th hole is a par 4 that plays uphill, and it's going to be tough for 2 reasons. One, because of a second shot into the green. The drive is quite straightforward really. We have got out of bounds left, and 2 players in the playoff in 2010 hit the ball out of bounds unfortunately. But if you successfully negotiate the fairway, then you're playing a rescue club into a green. It's a 2-tier green. When you hit the green, there's still all to play for. You know, the pin's cut just over the brow of the hill, and any putt there, if you make a par up the last, I think you're going to be the Trilby Tour champion.
Well, a par up the last for James Gray, I think will do it.
I think he'll romp home with a par up the last. Receives a shot up here, as does Andy and Tony. Out of bounds down the left. So number 1 is find the fairway.
Oh, he loves it. The last bit of pressure, is it, for James Gray as he gets a clean strike away from the tee and he's in pole position to take this title.
Beautiful shot there. Looks physically and emotionally drained. Now, barring some miracle work from his 3 playing compatriots, I think the title's his. But again, he's up and out of it early. That's another one scooting off to the right-hand side.
Yeah, not really been Domenico's playoff from the hole 2 onwards. Not been Andy McLaughlin's playoff, I'm afraid, from the first tee shot. Got himself back to +2, got a shot on this hole. And that is an excellent drive from the concrete salesman from Woodsome Hall.
He's set for life then.
Oh, steady on that. Mind you, it's a hard job. We've got to thank Andy McLaughlin and probably Tommy Cooper for that terrible gag. Now then, Tony Edwards, he looks like a really good golfer to me, Matt.
Yeah, swings it better than his 15 handicap suggests. But really, he's thumped that straight up the middle.
Yeah, plenty of aggression in that tee shot.
Yeah, position A1 here on the 18th.
Hasn't quite gone Tony Edwards' way. It's all still about the local boy from the KP Club, James Gray, in control of this playoff and marching towards his destiny. James Gray's second shot, but at this stage it's caddy time, I think.
His caddy's been a great asset to him today. Taking charge here. There'll be plenty going through James's mind at this moment in time, so he's just clarifying what he's expecting him to do.
Fiancée Annabelle in the purple top, watching on. Could be watching an historic moment in James Gray's very short golfing career. He's only started playing seriously in the last couple of years. Conscious of this out of bounds to the left, so he started that way right. Oh dear.
Yeah, I don't think this is over just yet. That's going to leave him a tough 3rd shot.
Oi oi.
An outside agency.
They're engaged, it's all okay.
Now, Iannone down that right hand side. Flag tucked on the right hand side. Tough one to get at, but really needs to take it on. And I'm fearing this is a bit left again.
Oh dear, Iannone into the bunker and in trouble. And McLaughlin, come on, let's have a fine finish here, Andy.
quick with the hands and arms. I think he's rolled that one over left as well. That's heading towards the bunker also.
Well, he's in there with Domenico Iannone, and I'm afraid for Andy McLaughlin, his race is run in this playoff. William keeping an eye on this one, making sure the gallery are keeping their distance as well, and you could hear a pin drop here. Edwards.
Early signal from William that that's left.
Oh dear, it's way left, and it's in serious trouble. What do they say down there? Oh no, they say it's all over. Yeah, I'm afraid for Tony Edwards, out of bounds means out of luck, and it means out of the playoff. Well, Matt, they're moving up towards the 18th green, but the more you look at James Gray's lie, the less you like it.
Yeah, great scenes there with the gallery, but I've got to be honest, I don't like this chip shot. Bunker short, bunker over the other side of the green, downwind, no green to work with at all.
And a golfer absolutely buzzing with nervous energy. Anything could happen here.
I mean, inside 12 feet is phenomenal. Just got to compose himself, try and chuck it in the middle of the green. Oh, and he's played that beautifully. Get in. Oh! And that is an exquisitely played pitch, and that is a shot that's going to win him the Championship of Yorkshire.
Well played, James Gray. And well played to the rest. Three guys doing very well to make it into this playoff final, but rubbing salt, well, sand, into the wounds. Domenico Iannone, no luck from the bunker, and no luck in this playoff final. So he, Andy McLaughlin and Tony Edwards come up short, and it's this man, James Gray, to claim the title.
He's got 2 or 3 putts for it, so expect to see this cozied down to the edge. And that's exactly what he's done. And a little deep breath needed now. Compose yourself. And just like Trevor Taylor at Murray's Hall last year, he can really enjoy his Trilby Tour moment.
In it goes for an emphatic victory. Well played, James Gray, the home course hero and our highest handicap Trilby Tour regional winner so far this season. And we march on. 4 down and 8 to play. Next week we head further north to Rockcliffe Hall as another 120 golfers go in search of the 10 finals places on offer and the Trilby Tour Championship of the North. And week in, week out, the drama continues, culminating in the big one, the Amateur International Final at the Buckinghamshire Golf Club to crown this year's Champion of Champions. And don't forget, 10 PM, Sky Sports, Monday nights. It's Trilby time. For now, though, it's congratulations to this week's main man, James Gray, the Trilby Tour Champion of Yorkshire.
It's difficult to put into words. It's something I never thought could have happened. Taking part was the big thing for me, but I won it somehow. After a shaky drive, got a couple of decent irons away, and yeah, the putts fell, and I got close. So yeah, very happy with how it's gone. The plan was get round, don't make a fool of myself, and enjoy it. And I've definitely enjoyed it. I don't think I've made a fool of myself, and so yeah. I watched it on Sky last year and thought, wow, this is something that I can't believe will happen to me, and go down to the Buckinghamshire now and I look forward to it. I can't wait. Start counting down the days now.
Don't go anywhere, we're not done just yet. 18 handicapper, bunkers, crowd, cameras and a title waiting to be claimed. James Gray takes this week's shot of the day. And we've got a few promises to keep in Rogues Gallery, our weekly identity parade for crimes against this noble sport. You'll like this next one. Keep your eye on the middle of the screen. It's nuts. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Beebe from the shootout. And to finish, as promised, Mick Santana's Trick Shot Roadshow. Hi, thank you. Here's William.
KP Club, I love it. It's, you know, it's tight, it's compact. I think the great thing comes across here is the camaraderie amongst the players, the staff, and the competitors. 4 guys don't know each other, all got on the scary roller coaster, came off as friends. Next we're off to Rockcliffe, just up the road, well, about 150 miles actually. And if I got anything to say to the KP Club and all the people here, you're fantastic. I love being here.
So James Gray is this week's regional champion, and that's your lot from the KP Club for this year. Next week we head north to County Durham and Rockcliffe Hall for another week of Trilby Tour action and a playoff to savour, I can tell you. It's a belter. For more information, go to www.williamhunttrilbytour.com. We'll see you next week.
Ordinary guys doing extraordinary things. The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with William Hunt, Savile Row, and Calloway.